Hello, I am Mike Watt, and again, I'm coming to you from an empty room, and I'm talking to you about Exploitation Nation magazine, our biannual cult film digest. And this is one of our special issues. This is dedicated explicitly to my friend William Richert. And yeah, again, I use that phrase a lot. Bill was one of the few voices I heard during the pandemic. I would talk to my parents, I would talk to Amy, and for once a week for 3 years, I talked to William Richert. William Richert, if you don't know, was the director of Winter Kills, A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon, and The American Success Story, and he should have been the author of The American President with Michael Douglas because it was his script, but for some reason, Aaron Sorkin decided it was his instead. We talk about it here. I put out Bill's final memoir called Executive Privilege, and we have the receipts. He created The West Wing, and he created The American President. The American President was originally called The President of Envelopes. We have script comparisons between Bill's and Aaron Sorkin's. We have the receipts. And Bill passed by his own accord. He had an inoperable disease. He decided to end his life medically due to Portland, Oregon's death with dignity laws, and I believe he recorded it. Bill had a lot of drums to beat. River Phoenix was murdered, and he was not a drug addict. Aaron Sorkin stole from him. Bill was also on Richard Nixon's enemies list and had his hotel broken into after a series of interviews he did for 60 Minutes called The President's Daughters. He was an endlessly fascinating man. I talked to him once a week to listen to him tell stories about working with Toshiro Mifune and John Huston and railing at the weather. And Winter Kills, if you don't know, was shut down 3 times for 3 different reasons. And one of the producers was killed by the mob. Endlessly rich, endlessly fascinating. He enriched my life for having been in it. I never met him in person. I would have loved to have gotten to him to Cinema Wasteland, where he could have been treated like a king. This was my special tribute to Bill, and this was a rough one. This was one I didn't want to finish. And here we have the back cover is something he used to say to me all the time. Contributors, since it's mostly about Bill, we didn't have a lot of contributors. Rhonda has a very nice piece about Jimmy Reardon, and Scott Bradley did a very moving piece on Bill and his role in My Own Private Idaho. He plays Fat Bob, and it's if you haven't seen My Own Private Idaho, he's brilliant, and it's wonderful, and his affection for Keanu Reeves and River Phoenix is palpable on the screen, and they were friends in real life. And he used to play recordings that River would leave on his voicemail for me, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna call Bill and get to hear a ghost story. So I miss Bill. I'm really proud of this issue. If you don't know Bill's work, please pick this up and check it out. You want to go to exploitation-nation.com or happycloudpictures.net or happycloudpublishing.com. Gosh, don't we have a lot of domains. I will talk to you guys soon. We will finish up with issue 15.